my neck, you notice the checks. I ride with the fork, you notice the flex. You notice my neck, you notice the checks. Notice the checks.
Oh man, this joint was going crazy out here.
I hear. I can't hear. Oh no, I don't got my head. I just got my drunk side covered for real. Yeah, it's just a regular bean.
Akcb,
Open that joint up for real. Put
the
it
biggest music artist in the metaverse. Shout out Beat Street. Shout out Fort Flex. Let's get it. They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they looking how I count all that money. Yeah, we count 300 a week. Now the money just spilling the streets. Oh, what a feeling it's spilling on me. Oh, what a feeling they feeling on me. Oh, what a feeling the beat. Oh, what a feeling the feeling is me. Now they just watching, they copy my style. Looking like how you gon' copy that wow. Man, I might have to go take you to trial just to get back a piece of my style. Reppin' B Street, cause you know that's the gang. I run with the unit, I stay in my lane. If you don't do that, you probably a lame. I spin my propellers, I'm fly like a plane. Yeah, awesome, they knowin' the name. Nah, I ain't even noticed the fame. Nah, I ain't even noticed the change. Yeah, but I had noticed the game. Yeah, and I had noticed it ain't fair. So let's just get the whole game. Yeah, so we can get the whole gang square. They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they looking how I count all that money. Yeah, we count 300 a week. Now the money just spilling the streets. Oh, what a feeling it's spilling on me. Oh, what a feeling they feeling on me. Oh, what a feeling the beat. Oh, what a feeling the feeling is me. I ride with the fork, you notice the flex. You notice my neck, you notice the checks. I ride with the fork, you notice the flex. You notice my neck, you notice the checks. Notice the checks. All right, we still giving people a chance to roll in, so we're gonna let the music spin for a little bit. Akcb, the biggest music artist in the metaverse. Shout out Beat Street. Shout out Fort Flex. Let's get it. They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they looking how I count all that money. Yeah, we count 300 a week. Now the money just spilling the streets. Oh, what a feeling it's spilling on me. Oh, what a feeling they feeling on me. Oh, what a feeling the beat. Oh, what a feeling the feeling is me. Now they just watching, they copy my style. Looking like how you gon' copy that wow. Man, I might have to go take you to trial just to get back a piece of my style. Reppin' B Street, cause you know that's the gang. I run with the unit, I stay in my lane. If you don't do that, you probably a lame. I spin my propellers, I'm fly like a plane. Yeah, awesome, they knowin' the name. Nah, I ain't even noticed the fame. Nah, I ain't even noticed the change. Yeah, but I had noticed the game. Yeah, and I had noticed it ain't fair. So let's just get the whole game. Yeah, so we can get the whole gang square. They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they looking how I count all that money. Yeah, we count 300 a week. Now the money just spilling the streets. Oh, what a feeling it's spilling on me. Oh, what a feeling they feeling on me. Oh, what a feeling the beat. Oh, what a feeling the feeling is me. I ride with the fork, you notice the flex. You notice my neck, Akcb, the biggest music artist in the metaverse. Shout out Beat Street. Shout out Fort Flex. Let's get it. They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they looking how I count all that money. Yeah, we count 300 a week. Now the money just spilling the streets. Oh, what a feeling it's spilling on me. Oh, what a feeling they feeling on me. Oh, what a feeling, the feeling the beat. Oh, what a feeling, the feeling is me. Now they just watching and copying my style. Looking like how you gon' copy that wild. Man, I might have to go take you to trial just to get back a piece of my style. Reppin' B Street cause you know that's the gang. I run with the unit, I stay in my lane. If you don't do that, you probably a lame. I spin my propellers on fly like a plane. Yeah, awesome, they knowin' the name. Nah, I ain't even noticed the fame. Nah, I ain't even noticed the change. Yeah, but I had noticed the game. Yeah, and I had noticed it ain't fair. So let's just get the whole game. Yeah, so we can get the whole game square. They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they looking how I count all that money.
All right, fam. Y'all be patient with me. We got everybody coming through. People coming in and out. They just trying to get their sound right. So look, we're gonna give them about 5 more minutes. We're gonna give it 5 more minutes, then we're gonna go ahead and start the show. I definitely don't want people to wait too long. But yeah, I appreciate y'all rocking with me and being patient. We're gonna let this song loop about 2 more times, and then boom, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it.
Akcb, the biggest music artist in the metaverse. Shout out Beat Street. Shout out Fort Flex. Let's get it. They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they looking how I count all that money. Yeah, we count 300 a week. Now the money just spilling the streets. Oh, what a feeling it's spilling on me. Oh, what a feeling they feeling on me. Oh, what a feeling, the feeling the beat. Oh, what a feeling, the feeling is me. Now they just watching and copying my style. Looking like how you gon' copy that wild. Man, I might have to go take you to trial just to get back a piece of my style. Reppin' B Street cause you know that's the gang. I run with the unit, I stay in my lane. If you don't do that, you probably a lame. I spin my propellers on fly like a plane. Yeah, awesome, they knowin' the name. Nah, I ain't even noticed the fame. Nah, I ain't even noticed the change. Yeah, but I had noticed the game. Yeah, and I had noticed it ain't fair. So let's just get the whole game. Yeah, so we can get the whole game square.
Jeez.
They know I'm a beast, so they start running. Now they look.
Bro, yo. This joint don't never do this.
Oh, did y'all hear anything I said?
There you go. Sheesh.
No,
Bro,
I was muted.
I'm like, bro, why is, I'm like, bro, why is my phone tripping? Bro, that's why I kept dropping in and out, because I was like, bro, like, the audio would work one moment, then would stop, and just now all I heard was air. I just hear like sound like the computer fan or something.
Yeah.
You straight now though.
No, okay, cool. Now I gotta do the whole intro. We got the homie Love Louie in the building too as well. So let's go ahead and start that back over again. Like I said, this is episode 1. We're gonna get it right. Yo, this is your boy Awesomeisjayell, aka the biggest music artist in the metaverse. And you are now tuning in to episode 1 of Beast on Air. And today we got a couple of guests, man. And for all that don't know, Beast on Air is a Web 2, Web 3 music online music show. So look, we're gonna go ahead and introduce all the guests. Let's go ahead and start with Love Louie since he just walked in. What's good with you, Love Louie? Introduce yourself and let the people know what you do.
Yes, indeed. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Dope. Yeah, man, it's your boy Love Louie, man, Web3 artist and DJ. Sorry that I'm late, but I made it just in time. Hey, man, I'm super excited to be here to talk about the culture and the direction of the Web3 music and stuff, man. So that's what I'm all about, man. DJing, rapping, and just keeping it real.
Okay, that's dope. Let's go ahead and go right to your right. Let's go with Turbo Made It. What's good with you, Turbo? How you feeling, my guy?
Yo, what's up, gang? Yo, it's Turbo Made It, man. I'm the co-host over at the Web3 Breakfast. I'm a musician, as well as, out in these Web3 streets, making a difference and an impact. Currently working with the Champagne Wise Club, to put an end to, human trafficking, sex trafficking. It's a huge epidemic in the world. So, through music, through leadership, we out here making a change, making a difference in the world, man. Thanks for having me, fam.
Okay, that's dope. Let's go on right to your right. Let's go to Crib. What's good with you, Crib? AKA Bad Fox 4042. How you feeling, bro?
Oh, can y'all hear me first?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah. See, now it's crazy, bro. It's clear now. Like, it was rugged and bad for just almost everybody else that spoke.
Nah, you good.
But yeah, man, what's good, man? Yeah, man, Crib checking in on the 4042 time. We here talk music. That's one of my things, one of my outlets, as well as I do visual stuff. I've been getting into the 3D as well. So yeah.
Okay, bet. So let's go ahead and go to the homie Jaden Violent. What is good with you, homie? I appreciate you pulling up. How you feeling?
Nah, I appreciate you. Could you guys can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bet. I was on my laptop before, but I had to switch to my phone because I guess like my laptop's trash. And I had to, get the situation sorted out so you guys can hear me. But now this is lit. This is my first time using StreamYard, so this is really, really cool. My name is Jaden Violet. I'm a musician for 5-6 years. I joined the Web3 space like a year and a half ago. I started this thing called the Underground Violet Rave, which is a daily Twitter space. But we also throw, raves trying to platform the underground scene, just the music scene in general around the country. We've thrown 7 raves so far, and we try to selectively, introduce Web3 tech. But I appreciate you for having me. This is mad lit, and yeah.
Word. I definitely appreciate you, Brody. I definitely appreciate you. And last but not least, we got the homie Nessie Dorilla here. You there, Nessie?
Yes, sir. I'm here, man. How y'all living?
Hey, we're doing great, man. Hey, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and what it is you do.
For sure, man. My name is Nessie Dorilla. Hailing from Detroit. I'm just a ball of light, love, and positivity. I am a musical artist, and I found my footing, coming into the space and just turning up the vibes, making theme songs and creative anthems for a lot of NFT communities. I've been blessed to be able to perform IRL at these conferences, just build relationships, and just teach people to have an open mind. So I appreciate you for having me, bro.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you being here. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump off into some topics real quick, man. I want to jump into some topics. Being that this is a Web 2/Web 3 music platform that I'm building here, I definitely want to ask some questions concerning Web 3, right? And this is really the first segment, right? So this is the first segment of the show, and this is really about Web3 and music and about how Web3 technology is changing the music industry, right? So one of the questions I want to ask you guys as a collective is how is Web3 changing music creation and distribution for you guys from your perspective? You know what I mean? I guess we can start with Nessie first.
Oh man. It's gonna change my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest here. I got twins, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I come from the city where the love is not always reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? And being able to come into Web3 to the point where people are hearing my music from all over the world from the comfort of their own home. And then on top of that, I'm able to add value to them. You know what I'm saying? The ones that want to support me, I'm able to add value. So that way, in terms, they can not only have an experience, but God forbid, if something happens, they're able to use that as liquidity, you know what I'm saying, to take care of their own situations. And that's all I want to do. Like, I got a huge heart. I'm just trying to help people through my music. So I'm glad that I'm able to do that, as well as just build these relationships. Like I said, like the Web2 mentality for me personally is just going off what you got, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the other. But the Web3 mentality, I see it's all about collabing, you know what I'm saying? When you're around the right people, it's all about collabing over competing and just building each other up, you know? So it's definitely a huge blessing to me. Like Web3 definitely is the future and saved my life.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. That's dope. I completely agree, man. One of the key points that you brought up there was collaboration. Me personally, like I wasn't even really collaborating like that in Web 2. I'm not sure why, because I had my own setup and I was working with my engineers, and I wasn't really like coming across too many people that was kind of like on a similar wave or that was like a like mind. So like Web3 definitely open that up for me. I started seeing people, that was kind of, interested in the same things I was interested in. So it was definitely a game changer for me in forms of as far as collaboration go, and everything else is as well that you spoke on. But let's go ahead and go on over to Jaden. Jaden, what's good with you, man? I'll go ahead and ask that question again. But how is Web3 changing music creation and distribution for you personally?
Yeah,
Jaden?
yeah, you guys can hear me, right? Or am I cutting out?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Bet. Man, there's so much to say, right? Shout out to Nessie. I'm gonna double down on everything that he said, right? Like, I came from the Web2 world where I was making music for 4 or 5 years. I'm based out of New Jersey. And the main thing that I've always wanted, I know people say this all the time, but like I've wanted a community, right? I've always wanted to go to a city, where I can meet other people that can make music. I always had to go to New York, drive 2 hours just to even go to an event and meet someone, right? And I always looked at collectives like, I reference ASAP Mob and Odd Future a lot of the times because I feel like those two groups were people that worked together in a location together, supported each other, and then blew up like that. And I never had that. You know what I'm saying? I tried getting that on Instagram, TikTok, whatever the case may be. But I feel like I was always early to these things, but never took advantage of actually being early to these things. And then even in real life, when I was trying to go to New York and go to events and networking and stuff, just like Nessie said, the love is never like always, reciprocated. I feel like people always operate in an egotistical and like narcissistic mindsets. And I never understood it, right? And it's very ironic that the one thing that kind of held me back in the Web2 world is the thing that kind of is pushing all of us forward in the Web3 world, right? So like, joining the Web3 space about a year and a half ago, it was like the final and the first time where I was like, bet, like I realized I'm early to something, but the only difference is I'm not gonna mess things up. I'm actually gonna take advantage of being early to these things, right? And of course, like seeing a song sell for $10,000 under 2 minutes is what attracted me to this space. But it was the ability to like get that thing that I wanted, which was like, bet I could actually meet people, from around the world, actually like vibe with them, collaborate with other artists. And like you were saying, you don't know why you really collaborated with other artists. I didn't collaborate with other artists because just like there's just mad like, egos in Web2. I never understood why. And I really, really like how people support each other in Web3. I would like to think it's not because it's early and that's going to fade away as well. I would like to think it continues like that. But I'm here for it, and the community aspect, the ability to build with people, really changed everything for me. So it's lit.
Yeah, it's definitely lit. It's definitely lit, man. Yo, shout out to the homie Panda. He said, shout out to all the beasts in the building. Bagmi, you already know the vibes, man. Beast up in the building. We up in here real deep. Shout out to Jaden, man. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I definitely feel you on that. I can definitely relate to you 110%, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all coming to the show. I'm gonna go ahead and ask that question again, but we're gonna go ahead and pass it to my boy Crib, aka Bad Fox 4042. So 4042, how is Web3 changing music creation and distribution for you?
It's really about, you know, the means by which how you distribute, and then how you're able to reach audiences. That's like what I'm mainly noticing the difference with. Um, the collaboration aspect is the main aspect that I rock with, because it's just this whole thing of like, you know, like you said, like-minded people, finding like-minded people. We've been on the internet, you know what I'm saying? We've been IRL, you know, but that's one thing that's like is can sometimes be difficult, getting in the same space with a douchek, getting in the same space that with people who see a vision, you know, similar, at least in the realm of what you're trying to do, and you know, connect with those folks. So getting in this space really like allowed me to get with people like yourself, and you know what's happening, and even a kid called Beast and everything. And like it's like I see the vision in terms of you know, just creative control, you know, connecting with community, all those aspects just on a whole nother level without even having to leave your home. Even though, you know, it is better to be at these IRL things too, but that's really what I'm saying from like the whole Web3 thing is just those main things: the distribution, creative control of the distribution, and the collaboration aspect.
Definitely. I agree, man. Yeah, it's just like to put it simply, man, it just kind of opens everything up. And it's crazy because Jaden really he talked about how like you're dealing with a lot of egos in Web 2. The wild part is I feel like the egos are still here, but still even the person that would be egotistical in Web 2 kind of let their guard down a little bit in Web 3. That's the wild part. You know what I mean? You could tell when somebody kind of got an ego, but they want to work with you for the good of Web 3. And that's the wild part. It's crazy. That's like a major game changer. But let's go ahead and throw that on over to my guy, Love Louie. How's Web3 changing music creation and distribution for you?
Peace, King. Be 100% honest with you, man. I'm 100% new to the space. I'm only in the learning phases. I haven't really delved in all the way. I'm kind of learning by experience. For me, like, honestly, like I had the opportunity to just hit the blockchain. You know what I mean? That was the ultimate goal, was just get on the blockchain, make my imprints, and see where it goes from there. The distribution aspect of it, it was so quick. You know what I mean? Everything happened so fast, and like some of the work that I did in those 17 days, it took me to mint out the whole project from 0 to 111. It was an experience, right? Like that aspect, the distribution, how fast people gravitated to the music and stuff like that was life-changing. There's no doubt about it. But again, I'm learning, you know what I mean? I'm a student to this whole Web3 space. Like I'm very, very brand new, and I don't want to act as if, you know what I mean, I'm knowledgeable in that aspect. You know what I mean? 100%, I'm just here to learn, to grow, and like you guys said, the main word, collaborate, because I think that's what's going to push the culture the furthest. But yeah, that's all, man. Peace.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's super dope. Oh yeah, Love Louie, when you get a chance, you might want to come like exit and then come back in. Your audio kind of doing something. I don't know what it is.
Beatboxing.
Yeah, it was rugging a little bit. I'm not sure why. But yeah, man, I totally and wholeheartedly agree with your point, what you're saying. But I think it's dope that you're able to come in as just a fresh experience overall for you. You know, experiencing that and having so many people like us that's already been here to, you know, help guide you through it, you know, and that way you don't have to go through it, you know, just being blind, you know what I'm saying? So it's dope. It's super dope, man. So yeah, keep pushing, and it's dope. Congratulations on your sellout too as well. That's super dope, especially for somebody releasing their first, that was your first mint, right?
Yes, sir. First one, very first Genesis. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's dope. Congratulations, bro. And that track is definitely a banger. Definitely rocking with it. So let's go ahead and go on over 2. Turbo made it. Was good, Turbo.
Yo, what's up, baby?
How's Web3 changing music creation and distribution for you?
Yeah, man, as a combat vet, you know what I'm saying? Like I started making, music for my PTSD. I mean, I just woke up one day and was like, man, God, I want to make music. And so, I just sat down and started making music. And so as I was playing my music for the people in my community, the people that were around me, they're like, man, your music sounds good, but you ain't a musician, right? You're like, you're not a musician, like you didn't do this, you didn't do that or whatever. And so, Web3, had the opportunity to play my track for Chantel, and I was like, hey, Chantel, like, I'm not a musician, but like, could I play my track? You know what I'm saying? She was like, definitely. And I played it and she was like, no, Turbo, you are a musician, right? And so when we think about like what the Web3 offers us, right? Like this is a Grammy nominated artist. She's worked with, all the greats in the world. I've had the opportunity to work with Frank Nitti. These are people that like are well respected in the music industry, So, a lot of times in our environments, I heard you say, Awesome, about how, like just the people, there just wasn't that quality, right? And so that's what the Web3 gives us. It gives us opportunity to connect. I mean, I have literally met every single person on the stage. I've literally hung out with you guys. You know what I'm saying? And like we would have never ever met, you know what I'm saying, in the Web 2 based on the, the parameters and the geofencing that, is kind of constructed when we look at those things. And so from a distribution standpoint, you know what I'm saying, just how we can connect to each other and then also reach, a completely new audience. In this world, it only takes one person to love your song. You could make a song, it could sound like complete trash, but there might be one person out there that's like, yo, I love this thing so much, I'll give you $1 million for it. Okay, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you got the value. So, like I think when we really think about creation, distribution, Web3, and like what it's offering for musicians, one, it gives us an opportunity to get together, you know what I mean, and hone our craft. Iron sharpens iron. It gives us an opportunity to reach a whole new, mass of people. And like King Louis was, or like Louis was saying, it's like he's completely brand new. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a whole new avenue to be able to make a living for himself. And so that's another opportunity when we think of financial vehicles to be able to, let our passions and our dreams pay our bills.
Definitely. I definitely agree, man. Turbo made it. Hey, I agree with you, bro. Like if I did not tell you, bro, but I definitely agree with you. It's crazy. But we do have someone new in the building. We got my dear friend, homie, Daily Upgrades in the building. What's good with you, Daily? How you feeling?
Hey, what's going on, gang? Appreciate you for sending that invite through.
Definitely, man. I know we just throwing you in the midst of a tornado right now, but the question that I asked them, and which I'm actually going to rephrase because you have a different lens of the music industry from Web3, right? You're not a music artist per se as far as like in the industry, but you do have a music industry experience. So it's going to be interesting to see your perspective of this question. But how is Web3 changing music creation and distribution from your perspective, your lens, from what you've seen so far?
I think that's a dope question, right? Right now, it's kind of interesting what's happening because people I think fail to realize that Web 2 is still getting involved in Web 3, right? Like those traditional record labels, those bigger groups that know how music works are already tapping in with Web 3 and starting to distribute music through these lanes. So I think it's a lot of the same, like what we're used to in regards to music and the distribution of it. But like everybody up here said, the angle of having direct contact to your consumer is something that's completely different from the norm. I think one of the better interviews, we've probably all seen it, was where Snoop broke down the connection that he now has to his fans compared to what it was previous to that. So I think from the angle of creators to their audience, it's a much different distribution method to where you can actually give back. But in regards to like the whole structure and how it goes from Web 2 to Web 3, I think a lot of those bigger groups are going to take advantage of the same lanes that we are. And it's just about being first to it and making sure that we can make better content.
Definitely. I agree. I definitely agree, man. Good breakdown. Great breakdown. It's a great perspective to have, man. Hope you guys listening, taking notes, listening to the game. he's giving and the gems that he's dropping. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. We definitely appreciate you guys pulling up. So we're actually gonna go ahead and jump into an actual track real quick. The first song I actually want to go ahead and jump into is by the homie Nessie, the Bull song. So let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Nessie, is this still minting on Sound XYZ, or is the mint over? How's that going right now?
Yo, so the mint is actually closed. It was a 5-day mint, and we minted 568 of them. So if you do want to get one, you still can. You just got to go to secondary, Sound.xyz or OpenSea. You know what I'm saying? Tap in.
All right, bet. And this song is called The Bull Song by the homie Nessie the Rilla. So let's go ahead and get into that. Then we're gonna jump back into a few questions. But yeah, let's get it.
I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just feel screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out.
I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here.
She make it jump like the price of crypto. Love how the hits go up and down. Getting me pumped for the night, make a diplo like I'm Diplo pumping cloud. Says she needs some more board and I see shorty got FOMO. She help me like OMG, I'm busy minting on my phone. Ooh, and I gas high, but I'm never tripping cause my bag ride. And the years whipping, trying to order chicken while she get it flicking cause I'm that guy. She slip it till the night and gotta chill it cause the people feel it and react now. In the field, probably bumping Dilla, love my twist, so I'm getting my style.
Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here.
Hey yo, who produced that, yo?
Yo, for everybody listening, that was the Bull song by the homie Nessie the Rilla. That joint is fire.
Who produced that?
Absolute banger.
Definitely a banger. You there, Nessie?
Yo, can you hear me?
We
can hear you.
Yeah, my fault. I'm here. My fault. I got a call.
No,
Who produced that track, bro?
You said who produced the track?
Yeah.
Boy J Plus.
Where he from?
He from Jersey.
Okay. All right, makes sense. Yeah, cause I'm from Baltimore. Like that's like club music for real. But Jersey got the same. You know what I'm saying? It was always Baltimore, Philly, and Jersey had like that club type sound, that type sound. So that's why I was curious.
Wait, Nessie's from Jersey?
No. The producer's from Jersey.
I was about to say I'm from Jersey, so I was like,
yeah, that's the music type of music. You know what I'm saying? I was growing up, like they played shit like that a lot. You know.
Word.
There's a vibe for sure. When I made that, it was just a really bearish time in the market, you know what I'm saying, and in the space. It was just a lot of negativity. A lot of people was just like boo-hooing and shit, and I was just like, yo, people need to dance again. People need to get live again. You know what I'm saying? We just need some type of energy, you know. So
I'm glad y'all like those bull market vibes. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Big facts. It's funny that you put that joint out because I was actually chopping it up with some homies, and we was like, man, we ought to put out a song that turn the bear market into a bull market. And then here you go, the Bull song. I'm like, yo, this the perfect song right now. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's definitely a vibe, man. So shout out to you. That was lit. Your live performance was lit too. At the event in the Bronx, that joint was crazy. You destroyed it.
Man, thank you.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. We got to show love here, man. That's all we know. You know what I mean? We got people in the comments talking about some shit. When mint. Yo, mint over with, son. Like, bro, you got to go to the aftermarket, bro. Like, he minted out already. So look, let's get it. Let's keep it moving. We are now in the second segment. We in segment 2 of the show. where we're gonna talk about Web 2 music trends and what's going on in Web 2. Man, y'all know what's going on with Web 2, man. It's a lot of major streaming services. And that's one thing I actually want to ask about first, right? I'm actually gonna detour from my actual question I had, but I want to go ahead and jump into major streaming platforms, right? Let's talk about those. How do you guys feel about major streaming platforms in the sense of the contributions they're actually making to the artists, like the gains that the artists are actually getting? What are we actually using major streaming platforms for other than getting money? Because they obviously not paying out nothing. You know what I mean? And how do you feel since Web3 has opened up? And what direction do you see it going? You know what I mean? As far as major streaming platforms, I know that was a loaded question. That was a bunch of questions, but look, let's break it back down. Let's break it back down. That was a lot of questions. So look, how do we feel about major streaming platforms right now since Web3 is opening up to music? We can go ahead. We're gonna go backwards this time. We got, who is that at the bottom? Love Louie. So Love Louie, we're gonna start with you. How you feel about major streaming platforms right now?
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You good?
Am I juggling back on y'all again?
Nah, you
It
sound
ain't
way
Bebop
better. You
anymore.
sound good.
Okay, let's get it then. Yo, hey yo, love and light. I was eating, bro. I can't even hold you. I was eating, so I got to get myself situated. Yo, Web2 and the streaming services, man. Honestly, it's a thing of the past, bro. I'm not trying to disrespect where I came from and stuff like that. It's harder to put in invested time and efforts into something that's not gonna, you know what I mean, return the same as now what we know of Web3. You know what I mean? It's harder to, I mean, and the only benefit is I know where my fans stand in Web 2. You know what I mean? I had to grind. I had to be on my toes. I had to be out there. I had to market myself. I had to make it happen for myself. Because the streaming platforms, like you said, man, you could get a million streams, and that amounts to, depending on whatever percentages they want to do or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you may get $200, $300, but for a million streams, right? So I don't know, man. Like, and the thing is, I use DistroKid just for like, so there's more content. I use DistroKid, which allows you to like then.
He rugged.
Yeah, you rugged a little bit. He definitely rugged. Rugged. Hey, so hey,
Persian.
y'all heard it here first. Rugging does happen on YouTube too.
That's
It's
good.
not just Twitter. Not just Twitter Spaces.
Rug City, Persian rugs on YouTube.
God damn it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you back now, fam.
Yeah. So yeah, a million streams, 7,000. Okay, cool. B Dice knows the real math, right? But I mean,
On what platform? Spotify?
It's actually a bit different depending on where you're located, but for sure.
Regardless, I think it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. I think my connection is just too trippy, bro. But it's gonna be hard to go back that route after seeing Web3. Let me figure this out though.
All right, bet. We're gonna go ahead and go on over to Crib. What's good with you, Crib? How you feeling about the major streaming platforms right now?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, when I first came in, I was on some, man, forget them. You feel me? We over here rocking. But I'm kind of like in my space now. I'm still about to leverage it. You feel me? Like, I got like this whole thing I've been like planning out over the last few days, you know, that pertain to releases. And so it's like, man, they serve their purpose. I wouldn't be over there thinking I'm gonna get a bag from them, but you know what I mean. It's a means to distribute your stuff. You know what I'm saying, into a lot of folks' ears. You know, and hands. So really, like, that's what it is. They done created that network. You know what I'm saying. Got that system in play, and yeah, I think just like over here, it's all about how you want to leverage it. So that's like how my whole thing is, you know, I'm going to utilize it for what it's for, leverage it while, you know, dealing with this Web3 situation and what we spoke on earlier with the reach and everything and all of these platforms and stuff that we creating and building out. So they serve their purpose, bro.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I see it as a tool, as a resource too, as well, to get certain things done and accomplish certain things, because you can't forget you also putting your music out there so your fans can get it as well and be able to listen to it and stream it as well. You know what I mean?
That's what I had to get off of. You feel me? Because I was like, at first I'm like, bro, this like super limited. If I do it this way, you know what I'm saying? It's limiting the reach. So it's like it don't really make sense. It's cool, I can make more money. You know what I'm saying? They gonna pay me out, but then I'm limiting my reach. So if I want people to hear the music and I want the music to get out there, then I need to utilize those channels still. So yeah, I agree.
Definitely. Because I was about to say, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, you could put out the biggest hit in the world, but you'll be listening to it in your room, like, you know what I mean. And a lot of people, they when they go on tours, the only reason why the fans know their actual music is because of streaming services. Like, they got ease of access to it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and go on over to the homie 74K. Yo, what's good with you, 7? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm fucking over here downloading all these damn games that I got, like all these betas too, that I need to just go ahead and do because I haven't had time to play anything. So
yeah, nah, I feel you. But how you feeling about the major streaming platforms right now?
well, I mean, I didn't really get much love before because I didn't really release a lot of stuff. I was basement dwelling like crazy. I literally just produced for like ever before I even released anything. And then like I want to say like 2020, I released some stuff that I recorded in 2017 on Spotify and stuff. And once I learned that there was no money in it, I was like, I'm not gonna do anything else until like I ran into like Illmind was doing some beats online, like on his Instagram, and he was talking about squatanites, and NFTs. I was like, bro, this is something I need to get into. I already know, like, I need to figure out what this is. So once I realized what NFTs were and like knew how to write the code and contracts and shit, I was like, oh no, I was like, this is gonna be a mess. So I've been in the background trying to figure out how exactly I want to unleash all the stuff that I have on my computer. So once I figure it out, it's just going to be a mess. Like it's all kinds of just random stuff.
Okay, so you haven't released a project or anything like that?
Not necessarily.
Okay, are you on any major streaming platforms at all?
I mean, I have stuff on Spotify and stuff. Like I have some like random songs on all, like I use DistroKid as well. I put out like random here and there songs. I put a couple songs on YouTube, and then I've minted a few songs. But I was one of the ones that minted on Mint Songs, and then I helped out Tribly when they came out because he was a Squatanite member, one of the founding members of Tribly. And it just didn't go anywhere because you had to have a Coinbase wallet, and Mint Songs was just a crock of shit, honestly.
Word. So how has their experience been with streaming platforms?
I mean, I have more people from Web3 going and listening to my stuff than just randomly being put on playlists and stuff, like most of the time.
Oh, okay. Nah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's kind of how it's going for me, honestly. Like, I had people listening to me in Web 2, and I was doing shows and stuff like that. But I'm getting a huge boost in viewership, just for me being present in the Web 3 space and just doing my thing,
Right.
So it is actually a catalyst to have people go and listen to me in Web 2, which is actually dope. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, like, I like both. You know what I mean? I like both.
I like both.
Yeah, like that's really like what they have the ups on. You feel me? The means by which you consume the music, like is the ease of it. You know what I mean? Like the user experience, like it's not fully there yet on this side. Some platforms have it built out somewhat. but you know, it's not in comparison to like an Apple Music or a Spotify or a Tidal or anything like that. So it's like people, and then even just that business model in general. I was thinking about that today. Is people, you know, they okay with like paying, you know, a monthly membership and they get access to all this music, and like the difference over here, like if you met an NFT, you know, you got the music, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can take that from you. You know, is you miss your bill, you still got the music. That person, if it's says like a small artist, they disappear, their distro kid go inactive or whatever, they take them off streaming sites. That won't happen. You got the music. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's a complete different thing. It's similar to like buying CDs or something like that. And so like that whole model, since it got turned on its head, it's like the masses of people prefer to still consume like that. And that's why it is best, I think, to still leverage and utilize them for the time being until something over here can kind of create that user experience that's you know, make it ease.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely need a bridge. Definitely need some kind of bridge, some kind of in between mesh, you know, to help people, you know, kind of go between the two. Well, let's go ahead and go on over to the homie Daily. What's good with you, man? So how do you feel about major streaming services from your perspective?
Yes, we got a mixed bag right now, right? Like first person kind of said, fuck the streaming services. Crib actually gave a really good breakdown of it, I think personally, and then homie saying he doesn't really fuck with streaming services anymore. For me, like growing up, I pretty much, and maybe some other people in the room too, being that I'm a bit younger, saw the kind of like the creation of one of the biggest platforms, and that was SoundCloud, right? Some of the most talented artists popped out of that platform and kind of took over. So I think in regards to streaming services, they're still really important, right? For an artist to go ahead and gain two things, right? Revenue is one, which, you know, some people might see that there's not much, but when it comes to kinds of things like CPM, which is clicks per minute or clicks per mile, or pay per minute, that's also another one. You want to go to those sites that are going to pay you more for the individuals that do decide to click onto your music. And currently you have Spotify. That's probably one of the highest CPM websites that's going to pay you ad revenue and for plays. And you know, you can also get some pretty good payments from something like SoundCloud. In regards to, you know, life-changing money or something that can sustain you, it's definitely a lot harder, right? But I feel like for that angle alone, the revenue factor, it's big. The other factor I think is exposure, right? A lot of people, when they do interact with streaming platforms like SoundCloud or like Spotify, they kind of put most of their hope for success on their sound, right? And like I said early on, SoundCloud was a great spot to find new artists and kind of like a whole new wave that kind of took over music. But currently it's just like any other social media platform I could put, right? If you weren't there early, you're there last. And for you to grow, it's a lot harder for you to catch those eyes and catch that exposure. And one of the things that kind of helps, right? It's a Web2 tactic, and it's one that is still currently used. I wasn't aware of this up until I started to work within music, is that most of the musicians, most of the music that you hear now, it's not out because it's good or because it's quote unquote better, but it's because it's been marketed and it's been pushed properly, right? So a lot of times somebody will make music that's 10 times worse than everybody in this room, and they'll have 10 times more listeners. What's the reason for that? Well, a big reason is playlisting. Playlisting is through those platforms, through SoundCloud, through Spotify. Because if I can make my consumer believe something, right, which is the bigger part in all of this, as an artist, I can gain more interaction. So I think streaming platforms do offer a great lane for Web3 artists. I don't really think there should be that much of a distinguishing factor between Web2 and Web3, being that there is going to be those individuals, those bigger players that step in from Web3 and try to kind of take this over. They're going to use those classic playlisting tools. They're going to use those classic stream websites. And if you're not competing at that level as well, they're going to come in and roll us over. You feel me? So it's about understanding the use case behind it, and that it is viable still within Web3.
Exactly. I like that. I definitely share that sentiment. But look, we do got somebody new entering the room. It just entered the room. So this is what
entered all crazy too. Look at him.
Exactly. He's in here looking all crazy. Well, look, we're gonna go to Jaden, we're gonna go to Nessie, then we're gonna go to the guy. That guy down there going
that
crazy.
Thing crazy. That thing is wild.
Yo, so what's good with you, Jaden? How you feeling about Web2 streaming services right now?
Yeah, I'm getting distracted by the animation for sure. You know what I'm saying? That is mad dope. But yeah, it's I'm gonna say a little hot take, you know what I'm saying? Because we heard like kind of different perspectives in this space, right? And I tweeted out this, yesterday, and a lot of people kind of got angry, but it's my opinion. I could be completely wrong. 95% of music NFTs don't have value, right? I think a lot of musicians in the space want kind of like this fantasy collective value on music NFTs, right? People want people to buy their NFTs just because of the fact that it's a music NFT, right? But that's not the reality, right? If you're putting out something, right, into the market when there's supply and demand, you need a machine behind it, right? You need something that actually drives the value up other than just hype and clout. The reason why I like Kid Called Beast, the reason why I like D-God, the reason why I like these projects so much is because I felt like they've built a brand good enough that can sustain a business model outside of just Web3. And I think so many projects, including musicians, are trying to exponentially grow in a space that is already niche. And music is even a niche of a niche. You know what I'm saying? So there's, of course, this conversation of musicians saying, screw Spotify, let's not do that and stuff. But at the end of the day, right, a lot of people are putting out these collectibles, expecting people to buy it. Once it sells out, they put out another collectible. Then they put out another collectible. But what's going to actually drive the price of this asset up? And it's brand equity, and a lot of people don't want to build that brand equity. And what's the best place to build that brand equity? Yes, you could do it in Web3 because there's individuals in Web3, right? But there's not that many individuals in Web3 compared to Web2, of course. There's so many people that can be influenced by your brand in the outside world. And if you can influence people in the outside, right, especially for musicians who have a whole other pathway where it's like, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, TikTok. I'm really, really still baffled on how people are not posting on TikTok, right? If you're trying to grow a brand, it's like the number one thing to influence people. And I think the most sustainable musicians that we're going to still see in the space 5 years from now are the people that are, of course, like, being in Web3 every single day, but also growing their brand equity in the Web2 platforms and then funneling those people back into their Web3 project. I think that's a more sustainable way to grow a floor price. And I think I definitely want to see more artists do that, right? I think that is what's going to bring value to music NFTs, opposed to kind of creating, this fantasy value that people want so bad. You know what I mean? But I think we're going to see it, right? It's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of like more artists, I guess, realizing that, right? But I like all the points that's been made for sure.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be like on an each case basis. I mean, because like some stuff that was mentioned is like I think it was Daily said like somebody gonna come in and then roll this over. And the only thing I think about that is like it's according to what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if your aims is to be, this huge artist and all that, you know what I mean? Big deal, then it is a certain approach you gotta take in order to not have them come in and just shift, that away from you. But since it is Web3 and we got means to get to so many different communities and so many different parts of the world, you able to actually like leverage your own community, you know what I'm saying, and build your own thing, you know what I'm saying, within this, that it doesn't even have to align with that, you know what I mean? So in terms of the value thing, I agree. I think that's important, to add some type of value. But what's value to one person is, whatever to another.
I want to tap in on that real quick too, right? Because it's like everything within Web3, I think some of the best things happen to be Web2 ideas that can become decentralized. You know what I'm saying? I think we've seen some of the most successful projects do that. Take those things that we understand and just switch it into something that could be Web3, enabled. Something like being an artist, right? If you really look at everything you need to do from the top down with creativity, it's decentralizing all of these things too, and going back to your community and building that TikTok is probably one of the best ways to do that, right? And if you've been a creator on social media, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, even anywhere that you're garnering a following, have you ever been deplatformed, or has that platform ever disappeared from you or for you? That's tough. You know what I'm saying? And if you've ever been on Twitch, if you've ever been on some of these other streaming platforms, sometimes, you know, platforms die and you got to move on. If you haven't cultivated your brand and cultivated your following, the moment that happens, you're restarting from square one, right? So I think taking it back as well, like this is decentralizing the entire music game from top to bottom. And as an artist, you have to be strong enough to have all of these different things set up and just properly in order so that you can succeed.
Yeah, that's what I was starting to get at, is that like when you cultivate your audience and create your audience, you know what I'm saying, you got a genuine base, then you're not really worrying about somebody else coming and taking their attention, because that's still tied into the hype thing. You know what I mean? Like we most of us is not going to be able to compete with a big engine coming in here with like was spoken on the marketing money to really push, and you know what I mean, whatever artist. Like most of us don't have that type of budget. But if you've been cultivating and creating and building your brand and building your audience and you know, catering to that, then you'll have that, you know, because if they genuine and they really there for whatever you're doing, they're not going to just turn to be like, all right, forget you, they got them. Like it don't work like that. Like only the fugazi do, the hype do. But you feel me? That's why I said it's all about what you in this for, and like what you doing and what your aims and what you trying to like facilitate. Because if you're not concerned with that, and you building your own little thing within it, bro, I think you're gonna be great regardless. Because that's even how it is in Web 2. You got people like that in Web 2 now. You know what I'm saying? We might have never heard of them. I used this example before. We might not have never heard of them, but then you can go to one of these shows or something, and people just, they know they stuff word by word. They going crazy, and you like, bro, I never even heard. Who is this? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
underground is still strong. Underground is very strong.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. Underground, super strong. But let's go ahead and go to Nessie, and then we're gonna go ahead and introduce the new face in the room. What's good with you, Nessie? How you feeling about Web 2 major streaming platforms right now?
Yeah, man. So I ain't gonna lie, everybody has nailed it on the head. But at the end of the day, it definitely just comes down to what type of artist you are and what type of community you have. You know what I'm saying? I feel like personally, if I drop in Web3, I'm able to reach out to my community and literally kind of do a dial and put up a vote. Like, all right, so what do you guys think? Should we keep this in Web3, or do you want to further this reach? You know what I'm saying? Because there's lots of other ways you can further reach besides streaming platforms. Let's be honest. We got streaming platforms in terms of Twitch. We got YouTube. We got Vimeo. We got all these different sources, you know what I'm saying, that we can put our music on and not necessarily get as reamed as we do on these streaming platforms. So, but at the same time, once again, those streaming platforms are in a sense a machine and can get you more visibility to new people to the term where you could possibly onboard them to Web3 through that. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely is a case by case type of study. But for me, I definitely am putting Web3 over Web 2. I would rather build my community here. And then in terms of streaming platforms, I'm going to just ask them, because without them, I wouldn't be here. I've been doing this for over 17 years. And within the last year, I feel like I've had the biggest outreach and the biggest exposure and the biggest growth I ever have in my whole career, bro. So it's like, why would I switch that up? Yes, I'm going to incorporate streaming platforms and Web 2 platforms, but like, y'all are my family. Like this is, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gave me a whole new revival in a sense. So yeah, man, I got to stick this out.
Feel it.
Cause it's like let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's cool to be on the, like, everybody, we all want to be on the huge stages. You know what I'm saying? We all want that big, maybe not, but at least for me, I definitely want to be on a big stage. I love arenas, you know what I'm saying? I love that energy of being able to perform and people actually know my lyrics and say them back to me. You know what I'm saying? And the first time that ever happened, and the point of it was actually like a big room and stuff like that, was during a Web3 performance. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it definitely speaks for itself in terms of not only being able to grow as a community, as a brand, but also being able to sustain and to figure out how to actually monetize, not only for you, but then also for your people and your community.
Facts.
I agree. I definitely agree. All right, so we got people coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out.
Yeah, has some technical difficulties there.
Oh yeah, I definitely know. I definitely see. So look, we're gonna go ahead and jump into a record real quick, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna go ahead and jump into another new record real quick. Let's see what we got. We're gonna go ahead and rock with the homie Jaden Violet. I got your joint pulled up. You know what I mean? Don't think I don't know. I know. You know what I mean? So look, give me a second. Let's go ahead and share this joint real quick.
Hey, get it.
Where is it? Okay, boom. All right, boom. So we got Jaden Violent. We got the Stern Mystic. I rock with this joint. Shout out to Jaden. We finna go ahead and spin your joint real quick. Then we're gonna ask you about that. So get ready. Let's go.
Yo, it's $7.99.
$45 breakfast, I come with the beam. Play with a chopper, I play with the keys. I gave you a choice, you took it away. I'm holding it down, no telling me straight. Rock with it, guys. I gotta play disguise. I gotta ride like an take it all back in a way. I gotta play straight. I gotta trigger my hook. Yeah. Cause I did what I want when I want what you doubted. I did what I could, but I'm not so excited. Tripping away. Chill on building when you know you gon' fall anyway. Ain't in the rock, but I got in the rock. 80 on my time and I know what's good. I didn't wanna hold nothing, I didn't wanna mop. I didn't wanna show all the money I should. Fuck it, I'ma rock this town. You gotta say the name. All season today. Grey world, what the fuck you say to me? Yeah. 40 ain't here with you guys. I'm in my prime, yeah. Like as I should. Sipping on that lean, sipping on woods.
This is the underground bar. Yo was surfing on that motherfucker.
That joint was fire.
Yo, appreciate y'all for real. Appreciate you guys for listening.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Hey, so that joint is called The Stern Mystic by Jaden Violent. Jaden, is that still minting right now? Like, what's the deal with that one?
Damn, yo. So right now, technically you could still mint it, but it's kind of like secondary. So if you guys heard of sound, like, yes, I think most people here heard of Sound XYZ. It's where Nessie was, you played Nessie's song as well, but they introduced this new thing called Sound Swap. And hold up, my mom was calling me. Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah, you good.
They introduced this thing called Sound Swap, right? Where it's basically like, if you guys ever like purchase shoes on StockX, right? You could sell a shoe and you can immediately get liquidity from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to wait for a collector. You don't have to like wait for someone to buy your thing. Whereas like if you sell something on eBay, right? You put your shoe up, you have to list it, you have to wait for someone to buy it. So what Sound XYZ kind of did is you can like basically list your song, and then based on a bonding curve, someone can immediately buy it. So technically, yeah, you could still mint it if you want.
Okay, that's what we like to hear, man. Go ahead and post that link down in the go ahead and post that link, man, in the chat for people so they can go mint that. Check that out. That joint was fire. Now look, we're gonna go ahead and go to the new face in the room. We actually got two new faces in the room now, but we're gonna go ahead and go on over to Raspy. Then we're gonna go to AI Love. What's good, Rap? How you feeling, bro? I see you got some new tech. Tell us about what you got going on.
Is he talking? I think he talking. We can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Audio.
That was happening to me in the beginning.
You already know the vibes. So look, we're
gonna
go ahead.
If you go to more then go to settings, and then audio. You could check, see if your mic meter moving. If not, you probably gonna have to leave back out and come back in, cause and then check that from the jump, like when you accept the audio and all that.
Yeah, he might be dealing with something else because he utilizing some new tech there, so
Right.
the vibes. But look, we're gonna go ahead and go on over to the homie AI Love. What's good with you, AI? How you feeling?
Man, what's going on? I was sitting back there watching. I'm like, man, where the link at? I ain't know where the link is. How y'all doing, man? I'm glad y'all having this amazing topic. You know, it's a beautiful thing, and to hear all y'all's different opinions. You know, I had to jump in. Here's one topic I feel is like the catalyst for mass adoption. You know, it'll attract a lot of people. So I'm just pleasure to be a part of the conversation.
Definitely, man. It looked like Jaden might have to run. Jaden, I definitely appreciate you coming through, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through. Go handle your business. That joint was fire.
Much love. I'm in the car right now. I'm running to dinner, but I appreciate you guys so much. This is really cool, bro. This is really cool to like bridge Web 2 and Web 3. So I appreciate you. Definitely I'm gonna send more people here because this is really cool. But I appreciate you guys. Much love.
Definitely. Much love, Brody. But yeah, back to AI. Yeah, man. Yeah, we appreciate you coming through, giving your opinions on the topics at hand. Let's see if Raspy got his audio good. Raph, how your audio? Still working on it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Hello. Awesome. Okay, cool. Is it clear or what?
Yeah, perfect.
You clear.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm just experimenting with this thing. Like the connection is not the best. I'm in the Dominican Republic right now, but it's working. Like we got it.
Connection.
Mouth
cool.
moves and everything.
It's crispy on this end.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yo, there we go. Can you see my mouth moving and everything too?
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, bro. We can see it. It's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah, this is the new shit that we're going to be able to do with this. I've been having fun with this, man. This is like just beta testing and all this different shit, and I'm excited to see where this goes, like what people are going to do with this.
So how is it working like that? You able, like, you got it on the camera on here? Like, what is it like? It's more than one app.
So what I'm doing right now? Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I got a cable attached to my computer that's hooked up to my phone. My phone's doing the face tracking and it's doing the depth perception. So I got my phone basically on a little tripod, and then that's streaming to my PC. But that's like, this is kind of like a Jimmy rig bullshit setup right now. This is just to test the functionality. What we're going to have next is going to be a driver. You just install a driver on your computer and then basically just swap to the driver. So instead of picking like your webcam when you join like a Google Meet or like a Discord, a video chat, or like Zoom call, whatever you want to do, like Twitch
That's
space,
super
you just
fucking
basically select from the drop down. You're going to select a little driver, and then it's going to basically automatically know what you're trying to do, and it's going to actually work off your PC's graphics card. So the visuals will be even better. The performance is going to be even better. This is powered up on a phone right now.
One of the things that I keep having conversations with from the homies in Web 2, just even about this technology, is the ability to expand upon musicians that are currently creating, right? Because there's something about the industry that kind of it keeps people from moving forward. That's another conversation probably for a different time.
Yeah.
But the anonymity behind like what could be built with these AR filters, I think is fucking insane, right? So the clarity, the crispness, like it's honestly revolutionary, especially for that kind of angle within music.
Look at the tracking on it too. I guess
that's what I want.
Like this shit is, there you go. It fucks up a little bit, but I mean, it's pretty damn good considering I'm on a phone, right?
If you move too fast, it'll lose the track. Well, no, not from close up.
Yeah.
It must be when you're too far.
Shit too.
Sheesh.
Look at the eyes tracking, dude. Hold on.
It's crazy. That's wild, bro.
Yeah, that's wild.
This is gonna be shit.
Bye. Oh my goodness. Are you seeing this?
That's crazy. It's crazy.
You see the hat?
Hi.
Look at the
Who that?
reflection on the plastic.
Oh my
Bro,
god.
the reflection on the
I
plastic
love
goes
Louis.
Oh my
absolutely
god,
stupid.
wow.
I was
That's
sitting there,
crazy.
I was sitting there like, yo, where's that coming from, bro?
No, for real though, that unless like the depth, I guess is the only thing you got to worry about. But like the tracking from right here, oh my god,
I feel like we're in Miami again.
That's wild. That's wild. Speaking of Miami, we know Tokyo coming up. Raph, what you got, man? I know you got some alpha for Tokyo, man.
Yeah.
What
So we got a venue
what
that
you got?
we picked out a venue. We just have to like kind of figure out the right partners that are going to do the party with us. And like obviously we're going to work with some Japanese NFT brands, probably some Japanese tech companies as well too, and just kind of do something that's like, you know, Japanese local, put a little, you know, Japanese flavor on a cake called these. Do some like, you know, Tokyo kind of drops and stuff like that too, like limited edition kind of Tokyo things. So I think it'll be really cool. I think there's like at least like 30, 40 beasts from North America coming out. And then we'll probably do something in China right after that because there's a big community in China. And then after that, we'll look at doing London, Paris, and of course, like Miami will do our battle.
That sounds like the
launch in the
move.
pipeline. I like doing events. Events are fun.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of events, NFTLV, y'all know that's on the schedule. So I'm giving y'all a heads up. I will be out there. Hope to see y'all beast out there. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be lit.
Yeah, they definitely just announced that officially. So yeah, NFT LV, that's another one to put on your calendar and get ready for. But yeah, I want to actually take this moment, right? I want to take this time to go to the audience. Hey, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. Don't be shy. Put them in the comments.
I saw a fool put a question up there. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay. All right, yeah. So we actually gonna go ahead and go to this question real quick. After probably one or two more questions, we'll probably play one more record, and then we're gonna go ahead and wind it down and get ready to get out of here. I definitely appreciate you guys, you know, being patient for the first episode. But look, Mr. Wonderful or Foo, right? His question was, what's working and what's not working for Web3 musicians? That's a great
That's an
question.
amazing question. That's an amazing question.
It is.
I think you got to toss that to Nessie real quick.
Yo, Nessie, did you hear that one? What's working and what's not working for Web3 musicians right now?
Oh man, I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like what's working is collaboration. I feel like a lot of us are out here just breaking down the genre barriers, and that's one thing I absolutely love about Web3. Like we literally just breaking them down. You know what I'm saying? People you would never think would collab. You know what I'm saying? Or people that you think like, damn, this would have to be like a type of A&R setup that the labels would do for this collab. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, we genuinely care about each other. We talking to each other every single day in spaces all day. You know what I'm saying? Just holding each other down. So it's like, why go with the norm that the labels tried to brainwash us with when we can do it this way? And we can expand, and we can learn, and we can grow. Because that's one thing that's definitely helped me, especially with the Metagirl remix and a couple other collaborations I got. It's expanding my mind. It's literally opening up my mind. Like, bro, you're not just a rapper. You're an artist. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you feel, bro. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying. As long as you feel it, somebody going to understand it. And they going to pull strength from it. And that's what it's all about.
That's hella real.
My
Yo,
guy,
that part he added
gems.
in about the business too. The business really fucks up a lot of the creative connections in this space. You feel me? So if you've ever been in Web 2 and try to even make shit with somebody else, like yeah, your A&R's getting in the middle of it, your record label's getting in the middle of it. Everybody wants a piece, and that really does fuck with creativity. And honestly, creatives want to connect. They want to go ahead and work together and collab. So it's definitely bringing it back to what it should be. That was a dope take.
All love, man. All love. Now the thing that's not working, honestly, as obvious as it is, I'm gonna say it. The thing that's not working is competing. The thing that's not working is when people bring the Web 2 mentality into Web 3. When they bring in that mentality of like, oh, okay, it's about what I have and not about what I have to offer. It's about what my possessions are and not what I am about. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing I've definitely noticed capitalizing in the next couple of months. And it was just like, yo, like, what are we doing here? The whole point, for me at least, the whole reason why I got, yes, Love Louis. Oh my God, it's crazy out here. But no, the whole reason why I got out of Web 2 in a sense was because it was just like, bro, people didn't care about my music. They just cared about what I was rocking, who I was around, what I was doing. That's it. And at least in Web 3, I'm not saying that that's not the case fully in Web 3, but I know that there is a good percentage, a strong percentage of the people that are listening to me, that are in spaces with me, that are retweeting my stuff. They actually give a fuck about me, and they give a fuck, and they want me to succeed. So, you know what I'm saying? Definitely that's one thing I could say. This competing shit has got to stop. Like, I really want to have a summit like Quincy Jones had, where like literally, if you are a Web3 artist, pull up on me, and we all literally have a round table, and we just have a big ass whiteboard, a big ass for every single month. You know what I'm saying? And collectively, we can each go up there, put our drops in there. That way, we all know when's dropping, who's dropping. We can support that person collectively. You know what I'm saying? And we truly do push this together, this space together. That's what I feel like would be major for sure, for sure. I want to see less competing, more collabing, less hating, more motivated.
Man, you said so much, man. You said so much,
down
bro.
Perfectly, bro. Broke it down perfectly.
Yeah, it's the truth, man. That's one of the reasons why I started this show, man. Like, I want to focus on bringing us together, right? And collaborate. You never know, from this show right here, you may meet somebody new, you might collaborate with them, y'all go do something, you know what I mean? But I love your idea about getting together and doing a summit and just grabbing a whiteboard and just everybody just coming up with ideas together. I think that's dope. I think that's fire, bro. And one thing I strive to do too as well, I also want to include more people that's behind the scenes, that's not music artists, like Daily. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, if you got a beautiful mind, you have a beautiful mind. You know what I mean? And when you throw somebody like Daily in the mix, then you get that extra push of, you know, innovative thought process. You know what I mean? For, you know, from somebody like him that has the experience that he has, you know, within the music industry, as well as the artists as well. You know what I mean? Like everybody coming together and, you know, throwing it at the wall and see what stick, you know, but that's fire, man. I love that. I love everything you said, man.
Hey, real quick, one last thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but one last thing I have to say for the record. Please, one thing I don't like as well is when people worry about other people. You know what I'm saying? We all have our own situations. We're all on our own path. We all have our own things going on. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people in this space will see certain things and they'll be like, wait, why'd you do that? Wait, oh, what the heck? And you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people have to deal with every single day. The people they have to provide with, the situations they have to dodge. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy out here. So that's one thing I definitely want to change. I want people to just stop being so judgmental in terms of like what people are doing and like the ether scan hawks, you know what I'm saying? Or like the ones that'll like be upset when you do one thing and then like you have to do something for, you know what I'm saying, a situation, and they're like, yo, why'd you do that? You know what I'm saying? It's like I shouldn't have to explain it to you if it's my asset, if it's my career path, you know what I'm saying? If this is my life, I should be able to live my life the way that I feel is best, and the actions will speak louder than the words. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what happens when people become your investors, that they feel like they're your investors. That's what it's going to be.
I feel it, man. But it's like at the end of the day, like we all are humans at the end of the day, regardless. I don't care what you got, who you are, where you've been. And that's what I'm just trying to remind people, like regardless of PFPs, regardless of what we have, what matters is what's inside and who we are. So that's why I'm like, if you're going to judge anybody off of anything, then judge it off of their insides, not based off of what they have or what you see on the outside. Actually get to know that person, have a conversation with that person. And then, you know what I'm saying? If you want to make your opinion, do it. But all this judgmental stuff based off of what we see off of a platform is like, yo, it's got to stop.
Definitely. Let's go ahead and take a second. Go ahead and go to the homie Love Louis. He been throwing up all kinds of
Yeah,
signs.
he been
I just
he been wilding.
he going crazy over there. Yo, Love Louis. Like, how you feeling, man, about what's working and what's not working in Web3 for musicians? Now, I know you said you're new. I know you said you're new in the space, as far as like putting out music and stuff like that. But I seen you reacting heavy to what Nessie was saying. Like, so you agree with a lot of things he was saying there, huh?
Yo, one thing for sure, two things for certain, man. I hope y'all can hear me. One thing for sure, two things for certain. The competing thing is never gonna be the right way. You know what I mean? That's what made me turn on my camera. Again, I'm very, very new. I've collaborated with Nessie. You know what I mean? I released my Genesis NFT. I attached a instrumental for everybody and anybody within the squad who collected to use. And Nessie was ultimately the only person that hit me back that fast. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that other people aren't working, and there's no competition involved with that. You see what I'm saying? Like at this point in time, there's nothing better for me personally than hearing different variations of a song that I love for myself, right? So I can only speak on the individual song. I did release another song, but that's not as important as the overall question. The overall question is what's the benefits and you know what I mean, what do we need to change type thing. Um but yeah, ultimately, bro, it all comes down to that answer right there. Made me have to break my neck, man, because the competition, bro. Friendly competition. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. Friendly competition is always going to be a thing. You see what I'm saying? Like in regards to Sammy dropping his song with Nessie, you know what I mean? In competitions with people like Snoop Dogg. You see what I'm saying? And the substance behind it, like the fact that we all got to jump on board with Sammy and Push to try and catch that record, there was beauty in that. You see what I'm saying? So that friendly type of dynamic where it's like, okay, well, this person set the bar. Let's try and catch that bar and supersede it. You know what I mean? It's no disrespect to the artist that did it. Congratulations, but everybody does want to notch up on the next person as long as they're doing it with pure intent in their heart. You know what I mean, and they're not making it one of those things. Well, hey, look at me, Mr. Me Too, me. Then I think it does play a part in the culture. You see what I'm saying? But it does have to be one of those things where on the back end, we're still collaborating, we're still growing, we're still building, we're still making it happen in a whole new light, a whole new way. Veering away from the Web2 lifestyle where it's like uh forget about your neighbor. Let's try and get the power cut out at his crib so he can't make you know what I mean? Or I hope his drop doesn't do as well, or you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of that still, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. As much as I would like to say that I've collected everyone's music, I haven't. You know what I mean? I haven't been able to keep up because, like Nessie said once again, there's not a whiteboard indicating, you know what I mean, what's coming, what's next, what's up, what's up. So unless you have the bell notifications on and stuff like that, you would never know. So, but again, the keeping the competition aspect to a minimum where it's like creating tension or friction, we could veer away from that and just, you know what I mean, keep it kosher, copacetic, and work together, man. I think that's the best way.
Definitely. I want to take this quick second to shout out Raph. Raph actually said he got to go. So, all right, Raph, man, you got anything you want to leave the people with before you get out of here?
I think he's muted.
I think, yeah, he is muted right now.
Hi, Matt. There we go. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Yeah, I was just going to say, like, there's so much to be done with music with Web3. I feel like it's still really underutilized. Like, selling MP3s and NFTs, I don't think that's like where Web3 music needs to go. I think it could be so much more, so much greater. We can give like true community experiences using NFTs. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like music MP3s, they don't really solve the problem. Like, are we doing something new? Are we doing something like sharpening? Are we doing something cool with the tech that isn't already accessible with like Spotify, with iTunes, with YouTube, with all these streaming platforms, right? I think like we need to start thinking about like really cool activations and like hardware experiences for MP3s. Like give people a record that doesn't like augmented reality shit when they pick it up, put it on blockchain, give them something physical, give them something that's like unique or gives them like more community experience that they get like it's exclusive to them. Like do a song that people can't preview unless they buy the NFT. Finally, do that. You know what I mean? Create some exclusivity. Create that next song that people are going to feel cherished. Like they're going to cherish that song because they have the NFT. You know what I mean? It's not like just something that's there for everybody. You guys are thinking like outside the box to like recreate cool experiences, whether that's like exclusive experiences or experiences that bring people together in a new way, rather than just like MP3, sticking it on the blockchain and calling it a day, right? That's just like enough people do that, you know, they're not going to want to like experience technology because they're going to think that's where it caps, right? Like NFT is just an MP3 on the blockchain, like nothing new, nothing special, right? Like we got to come together as artists, like not that everybody releasing a single as an MP3, why don't we get everybody, you know, who's serious about this space, let's lose a whole mixtape. Let's put like an actual like augmented reality or VR or like some cool kind of experience behind that NFT, where it's just like everybody eats, but also something there that's unique that people can reuse and it'll take them back to a place.
Hey, Raph, your voice been cutting out. It's been cutting out for a little
We've
bit.
been able to kind of parse.
We can make it. We can make it out, but it's just cutting off every once in a while, and it's like speeding down and slowing up.
You know what? Here, I got some really good ideas for this. I'm gonna bring up with you guys. There we go. Fuck, I just busted them all together. Anyways, I got some really cool ideas I want to bring up with everybody, but like bottom line, like we got to do more to get people hooked on music and NFTs as a culture combined, rather than just making it MP3s on the blockchain. Like we got to do more than that. And I think like strength in numbers is a huge thing, especially because it's such a small market. We could do like some really, really big plays if we all work together versus like people trying to release singles and try to like be the biggest artist in a space so small, you know? Like there's so much more that can be done if you like collectively work together, and then you can actually get numbers that rival Web 2 shit. You know what I mean? If you work together, release a compilation, right? There's enough artists to release a really, really strong compilation. Like, you guys remember Dat Piff? That shit,
of course. They just closed down too. RIP.
I know, right? Like super RIP, right? Like that launched so many careers. Like Wiz Khalifa, like so many big artists started on Dat Piff. You know what I mean? Like we could be that next Dat Piff, launch like a platform where there's like a level of exclusivity. Like you're part of an underground, right? You're part of like a mixtape movement, where there's like the nostalgia, there's like the community building, there's like IRL kind of like stuff that happens alongside it, and it's like the new underground, you know? Like you're a part of something that has like a nostalgic relevance and history behind it. I think, you know, thinking about it from that perspective and that lens, I think that there's like way more that can be done in Web3 and music. And for now, like it's cool. People are experimenting and figuring out, you know, what works, what doesn't work, but like this can be so much bigger.
Facts. It can.
100%.
Where Daily, you want to touch on that?
I want to touch on a few things, man. I think a lot of dope points were brought up, especially, you know, what's working, what's not working, Web3 type shit. I do think a lot of the old, like Nessie mentioned, damn, did Jay drop off? That's crazy. We lost the host, y'all. Oh shit. I think a lot of what Nessie said was dope, because there is that weird dynamic with Web 2 and Web 3, you know what I'm saying? And it is, in my opinion, better to get away from the norm and try to set up like a kind of what's the word you could look for? Like a renaissance even for music, because currently there's not a lot of talent that gets promoted within the industry. It's more so if you have the bag, or if you have an account on TikTok that's popping with X amount of followers, they're going to put you up on a record deal and promote you everywhere. It doesn't matter how good you are. And that, to me, I think is probably one of the saddest things currently within the industry. It's not really about talent anymore, because if you go to places like LA, for instance, or some of these big music cities, you'll hear insane amounts of talent. You hear insane amounts of fucking artistry across the board, from producers to even just, you know, people who still play guitar like crazy. And those individuals don't get that kind of attention anymore, because the industry has shifted toward mass marketable individuals. So if you don't have that kind of vibe, if you don't have that kind of sauce, it doesn't really translate within that. And to me, I think that's horrible. What I do think is dope is to be able to take the same tools within that industry and kind of apply it to what we're doing here, right? So just that utilization of that traditional sense, I think, is the best. On the competition factor, kind of what Nessie and also Love Louie were talking about, I think it's tough, right? You can't always support everyone. Me myself, I've taken the time to go ahead and accumulate or try to mint music from individuals within a kid called Beast who I think are talented, right? So I've minted Sammy stuff. I've minted West Coast. I've minted Love Louie stuff. And that's just because I want to go ahead and support the artists that are building within a kid called Beast. So I think when it comes to that kind of view on it, as somebody who, right, I don't create music on a day-to-day basis, and I'd be a consumer in this concept, right? I'm gonna go ahead and buy individuals' music that I support and I would rather listen to, right? So if it's a good song, that's kind of how I take it. If it's good, I'm gonna buy it. If it's not, I'm not. And that's kind of a harsh view, but it's really where I'm at. It's kind of how I look at NFTs in a whole anyway. And then the last point I wanted to touch on was one that Raph was talking about, because while we were in Miami, we had this conversation about music NFTs, right? If we do it kind of how they're normally done, it's a bit basic, right? You're literally just dropping these NFTs, music to individual. You're just getting money from people and dropping multiple collectibles on their head top without any utilization behind it. It's
The
not
music,
really
the
go.
music is it though? I mean, that's the one thing
No, no.
I do have a problem with. Like, I respect when
Uh,
people add utility and add extra factors to it, but
right.
what this is allowing us to do is to
No, I
salvage
understand that, and
music.
I was
music. Go
no,
ahead,
for
go ahead.
sure.
Finish
I get
up,
that. I
finish
get
up.
that. No, for
Uh,
sure, for sure.
uh,
What I was saying though is like going through that sales model and continuing to take from your consumer only lasts for so long, right? So one of the dope things that I think, we actually have some people in the room that are doing dope things with their music. Uh, Nessie, I need to tap in more with what you've done, but I love the remix that you dropped with Sammy. That shit was fire. But I know that Love Louie has a video that's connected to his NFT, right? So that's a small amount of utility that you can add as an artist, and you can go ahead and find some kind of value to give back just by owning that item. So it's not some like major level of utility that I'm talking about, Crib, but it's like a small amount, you feel me? And that's something that can maybe even
yes.
make your it
And
can make
without,
your audience feel a bit closer to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's really
yeah,
just the point. And that goes back to that thing I said a little bit. We've all seen the video, I'm sure, where Snoop was talking about, yo, these NFTs, I'm able to give back to the people who really fuck with me. So
yeah.
I think that's the cooler part within all of these different realms that we can bring together and just make it a crazy experience for the end user, or a dope experience for the end user.
Yeah, you can still do. What I was getting at is that I hear people make a thing that like, all right, so it's to me it should be tiers to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like some people they just care about getting the music. They literally that's what they want to do. They want to buy and support the artist, which has been taken away by the current business models in the industry. And if you are getting it, then they taking a percentage off of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it to me this space allows that. Now the tier thing I'm saying is that if you got some means to do like that, that's not difficult to do, and I think that's dope. This exclusivity thing, I agree. Like add some elements to it. You can still do that
Yeah,
with.
I think
But I'm
anybody could do that, you know?
yeah, for sure. And but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that it's music at the end of the day. People get music to listen to music. Anything added on top of that is a plus. You know what I'm saying? And if you
No,
charge,
100%,
if you
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
charge
Daily is actually saying the same thing. He's saying the
I'm
same
saying
I
the
know,
thing.
same
but
thing for
He's saying
sure, yeah.
exactly the same thing.
if you charging more, if you charging like some amount that's like whatever that it's not even in the price range of what people used to consuming music as, then yeah, hell yeah, it better be something else. it need to be
Well, I
something
mean,
else that come with
well,
it.
in the reference that I was stating, it's definitely music. You know what I'm saying? Because I do think Web 2 has taken away. Starting back to what I said, appreciate you on that, Jay. Web 2 has taken away from a lot of artistry within the
Yeah.
current industry across the board. It's not about how good you are; it's about how much money you got. So, I fuck with it for that reason, and that's even why I buy artists that I think are talented. Shit, I bought y'all song on Cardano too. I forgot to mention that. Shout out to Twitter Space. That shit's a fucking banger. If it's a good song, I'm gonna pay for it. In regards to what I'm mentioning, Love Louis, how much did you mint your song for, bro? What was it?
0.01.
Okay, so for 0.01, I got a song that has access to a music video on the back end, and that I don't think is an exorbitant amount to pay for anything.
What's 0.0? What was 0.01 at that time? How much?
It was $20.
$20, yeah.
And when it comes to here's
there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's
here's
cool.
also the context.
Well,
Real quick,
let Daily make his point real quick. What Daily was saying.
The context of where I'm going with it too is like it's different markets. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys minted Twitter Space for I don't remember what price. It's Cardano. You know what I'm saying? It's a different ecosystem. I put out a small art collection, right, with no utility for 0.007, and that's Ethereum, right? Collections on Ethereum at a 0.01 mint price are like fucking that's nothing. That's like pennies. It's kind of a different I feel like it's a different ecosystem, right? So 0.01 to me was nothing, especially while I'm trading much more than that at times. Not much more, maybe like 0.1 on a day-to-day basis. 0.01 is really nothing. So in that reference, 0.01 for a song is cheap. When it comes to like other mints that are going out right now, like I think West Coast just minted his project, and that was going for 005. I think it's also right. You have to understand your audience. Okay, so while you're creating that audience, you can kind of have a little bit of a pulse on how many people are really tapping in with you on a day-to-day basis. And one of the things from music that they talk about with accounts is monetizing 10% of any following, right? So if you can monetize 10% of your following, you're doing good, right? So with that being said, individuals like Love Louis, I think how many pieces did you drop in that collection? I'm gonna use you as an example for this. And I hope that's cool. How many pieces were in the collection?
111.
For sure. So taking notice of the people that he has in his audience, he didn't want to drop something that was maybe a bit too much, and he wanted to cater to those that are, tapping in with him on a more day-to-day basis. And in that reference, it kind of makes sense to have a 0.01 price because it's exclusive, right? So sometimes you have to look at it from the angle of what is it exactly that the artist is trying to provide at that moment in time with their following, and how they're building it, I think is important, right? So there's a few different angles to it, to where it's not just about the music at times, right? Because the music is, I think, a big part, but you're cultivating your brand, like we go back to, right, Crib? That was something you mentioned. And with that brand, you want to have pieces or even, moments that your audience can remember, right? Whether it be their first purchase of your NFT for whatever price, and whatever that offers, right? So this song that Love Louis gave ASAP, right? The first initial utility for that is a music video. I'm not even sure what the upcoming utility is going to be for it, being that he's a part of a Kid Called Beast. It could be a multitude of things. Maybe the next video is an AR video, right? So there's a lot of different things that are capable within what we're building, not just already in music, right? But with the other things that we're tapped in with. So I don't know. It's utility isn't something that I think you should get hung up on, right?
Yeah, but I will say this. Everything that Daily just said, that was dope. That was dope from that perspective, because we all in the NFT game. You know what I mean? Whether we want to be or not, we're in the NFT game, right? So when you look at it from that's an unbiased perspective from like an investor standpoint, right? You're really talking about it from an investor standpoint. You're saying, hey, this guy came with this and this guy came with that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna make my decision based on, you know, so when you throw in something extra, you're really looking at that guy like, okay, you know, this might be a better bang for my buck versus this guy that didn't come with anything.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
And that's really, and hold on, give me a second. But and what I'm saying is I love that perspective. And one thing we have to keep in mind is people have their own perspectives, right? You can't change people's perspectives, but what you can do is just speak from your own perspective. So when we're speaking about this, nothing is right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. There is no really competing factor or nothing like that. It's just, you know, everybody just speaking from their perspective. So
that's what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is that's cool. That's cool. But what I say I have a problem with is when it's being stated like so people, you know, they frowning upon people who choose to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
but you can't really control people and how they feel.
Bro, the mind can be molded, and especially if you.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, real quick though, I don't really think we're arguing about anything, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Nothing.
Y'all kept y'all kept doing that to me. Let me finish now. I'm saying when you in a position that you have a voice and people listening to you, you molding people's minds who is coming to you for information. So I'm saying that it's okay. Either one is okay. It's okay. But I'm saying when you try to tell a person this ain't enough or we need to do more than this.
I never said it wasn't.
He never
enough.
said that.
I never said that.
He didn't say that. He literally didn't say that.
So where is this coming from?
Bro, when did I say Daily said it? I said when a person is saying that that's not okay by implying that we got to do this and that and that. You know what I'm saying?
But no one's implying that. He just spoke from his perspective.
Raspy said it then. He was here and he said it and he gone. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, that's somebody's perspective. You can't really control nobody's perspective.
Let's pause for a second, right? So if anything, I did agree with that point. So by constellation,
to finish my point. I'm not trying to get you to agree with me. I'm not even trying to change what y'all said. I'm just trying to finish my point.
Bro,
I wasn't.
I don't think you're listening to what you're saying, bro. You're not listening to what you're saying.
What I'm saying.
Let's move on, man. Let's move on.
Let's go on because we actually about to wrap up. We actually about to wrap it up. We about to go ahead and wrap up because we're definitely 42 minutes
I
past.
agreed with, and just to clarify, I was saying I agree with Raspy. So if it comes down to it, then there's a constellation that. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of tapped in on that right after he said it. So, bro, everyone's gonna have a different view
like
to it.
Everybody's literally saying the same thing, and that's why I'm like, no,
we're not.
but if you're not, you got your perspective. He got his perspective, and that's it. That's the end of it. It's a wrap. That's it.
I mean, it's the end of it because you about to shut it down. But I'm sitting here trying to make a point, and then when somebody else.
Bro. So look, listen to what I'm saying, right? What you're saying is you're saying what you're saying, right? But it's competing with what somebody else saying. And what I'm telling you, bro, listen to me. Just listen, bro.
Go ahead.
Listen. What I'm telling you, right, is that it's a conflict. It's a conflict. If you feel this way and this person feel that way, you say your piece, he say his piece. That's it. Like when you say what you're saying, right? It shouldn't be to slide somebody else's whatever their opinion is, to slide it, right? You should speak from your own perspective, right? It's not to combat someone else's perspective. And that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about what somebody else saying, but what somebody else saying is what they're doing. That's their whole perspective. So when you come with your perspective, come with your individual perspective, not based off what somebody else is saying.
Bro, that's a conversation. How else you have a conversation if you ain't talking about something?
Look, there's a way to have a conversation, and there's a way to be. Okay.
Bro, Crib, son, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm trying to help you, bro. I'm listening to everything you're saying, bro. Your
Tell me what?
perspective. So what's your perspective, right? What is your perspective that you were saying?
Bro,
Say
I've
what's
been
your perspective?
trying to say my point. You taking it on a whole nother course.
What's
Like
what's
a
what's your
whole nother course.
perspective?
If y'all was speaking and y'all asked me to stop cutting y'all, so I did, and then I go to speak and you gonna cut me, bro. What the hell?
Bro, cause you're not listening, bro.
No, all you doing is taking away my speech, my opinion, and my perspective that you keep saying. You ain't even allowing me my space to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
This how I speak, bro. This how I speak. First and
bro,
foremost,
you
this
bro,
is how I speak. So we just having a conversation. I'm not mad. I'm not upset with y'all. You feel me? But I'm saying like if you tell me something in terms of like respect and speaking when somebody else speaking, then allow me the same thing, bro. That's all I was saying. Like I don't even, bro. It's like it's to the point now where cool, man. It don't even matter now, cause it's like when you cut a person like that when a person's speaking, but you don't want nobody to do that to you. That's crazy, bro. Like that's crazy. And bro, I don't do the facade. You feel me? Like I'm all I'm doing is coming with, like you said, my perspective. So if it is seem to be in combat with somebody else, that's just my stance. I'm against what you saying. Then I stand on that.
but this is not the space for that.
Oh yeah, I'm saying this is probably not the
And
time for
that's
that.
what
I mean,
I'm telling you that right now. This not the space for that.
Bruh.
This is a whole different type of space. This is not for competing ideas and going to get somebody's perspective. This just not the space for that. That's what I'm saying. I'm just keeping it 100. But we're gonna go ahead and keep it moving though. We're gonna go ahead and keep it
yeah, for
moving.
sure,
Keep it moving, wrap it up. But First of all, I want to shout out everybody who came to the show. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Shout out to Nessie. Shout out to 74K. Shout out to Turbo Made It. Shout out to Bad Fox 4042. Shout out to Love Louie. And shout out to Jaden Violet. Shout out to Daily. And shout out to AI. I definitely appreciate y'all pulling up for the first
big
episode.
shout out to Raspy too, man. Don't forget about Raspy.
Yeah, Raspy. I'm sitting here reading from a list, man, and you know you can miss it real quick. But shout out.
I got you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. But major shout out to everybody who showed up. This was a great first show. We did have some people that didn't end up coming. Major shout out to Illa, the producer, and shout out to West Ghost. I'm definitely gonna have them on some of the next episodes. So yeah, major shout out to them. I definitely appreciate them hitting me up, letting me know that they weren't gonna be able to make it. So major shout out to them. But yeah, with that being said, we're gonna go around and we're gonna get closing statements for everybody who was a part of the show that's here right now. We're gonna go ahead and start with Nessie. What's good with you, Nessie? I appreciate you coming to the show, man. You have any shout outs, anything before you get up out of here?
Yo, bro. First off, thank you for the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to come say my piece or whatever. Honored to be on the first episode, you know what I'm saying, Beast on air. Definitely honored. But nah, everything's good, you know what I'm saying? Just tap in on Twitter for sure. If you're trying to learn all the latest and greatest with your boy, I will be out in Nashville May 4th and 5th. If you are out there, definitely tap in with me. I'm gonna be at Pixel Fest with Sammy. And yeah, man, we're just gonna keep working together, you know what I'm saying? Talking, having these conversations, and just growing together and keep building, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely appreciate the opportunity. And I'm gonna see y'all in spaces. I'm already hip.
Definitely, you already know the vibes. So next, we're gonna go ahead and go to Crib, aka Bad Fox 4042. What's good with you, man? Do you have any closing statements before you leave? Any shout outs?
Yeah, man. Shout out the Bad Fox. You feel me? Sparked this whole thing with what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? We building a brand with this Bad Fox 4042 thing. Just was hollering at the homie Ellie. We got some dope stuff coming in the works. Weekly thing as well. Yeah, it's gonna be something different. So just be on the looks. The page Bad Fox 4042, man. We got stuff on SoundCloud, Apple Music, all that stuff. YouTube, everything, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we just we building this joint day by day.
Definitely. I definitely appreciate you pulling up, man. We actually gonna play your record on the way out too. We're gonna get into that Orange Beanie, and that's still minting right now, right?
Yeah, that joint minting via Manifold.
Okay, bet. You'll do me a favor and post that link in the YouTube chat so people can go check that out. I'm definitely gonna get into that record as we get ready to move up out of here. So look, let's go ahead and go to 74K. 74K, you there? Look like he in the background with it. We're gonna go ahead and go to Daily. What's good with you, Daily? You got any closing statements, any shout outs before we get up out of here?
Hey man, I'm gonna shout you out because this is a super dope idea. I love how you're bringing this together. I've loved the conversation tonight as well. You feel me? Pulled up a little bit late, so please forgive me on that. I'm gonna be more active. So I think a platform like this is important, right? You and I have been talking about it in the background. Somewhere where we can speak about our ideas within music, and kind of grow collectively. Have a strong brand that you're building behind, I think, is the important part, whether that be your own or one that you're correlated with. And well, let's keep growing, man. High rise, let's keep it going.
Definitely. Yeah. Shout out to the High Rise, man. You definitely doing your thing with that. I'm definitely, with the High Rise gang. Y'all already know the vibes. But let's go ahead and go on over to Love Louie. What's good with you, Love Louie? You have any shout outs? Any closing thoughts?
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, man. Yo, shout out to everybody who tapped in today, man. Definitely honored to be on Beast on Air, Volume 1. Love and light, strength, prosperity, protection, health, and wealth, man. To everybody, man, moving the love and the light with clear intent in your heart and the power and the strength in your mind. You are good enough, man, and just keep it on going, man. That's all, man. Again, thank you, Awesomeisjayell, for putting this all together, man. This ran real crispy. I apologize. Had a little, bump in the road. I had to pick my daughter up from dance, so I was bumping in between Wi-Fi and signal and all that shit. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, love and light to you, my brother, and we'll definitely see you out in the battlefield.
Definitely, man. Hey, Love Louie, what you got coming up too, man? I feel like you got something very important coming up. What you got coming up?
So as you can see on my name, it was Love Squad, man. I represent the Love Squad, man, and I got this Love Squad anthem that I'm gonna be dropping soon-ish. I still got to get in the studio and stuff like that. I'm just trying to bring that inspiration to the space, you know what I mean, and keep that positivity growing, because a lot of the time we get sidetracked with emotions. There's a bunch of things attacking us mentally, physically, emotionally, and it becomes hard to disengage, and then reset the mental, right? Like, because that's very important. So just bringing that positivity back to the space, man, and just trying to inspire, reach one, teach one, man. That's what it's about. But look out for the Love Squad anthem, probably the next drop. And then just out here trying to mend the broken gaps. You know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah, man. My third eye opened up when I got to you. I was like, I feel like you got something coming. What is it? You know what I mean?
Crazy. Hey, yo, real quick. Big shout out. I see homie with the comment. Big shout out to Filter, too. Hey, wait till we're all up in this bitch in filters. Oh, my God. We're about to go fucking stupid.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, I got super excited, man. Super excited. Y'all make sure y'all rewind the live stream back and check it out. I will have it tagged and marked, man, so y'all can check out the tech. That joint fire is crispy. The details is wild. Raspy, he walking around looking like a video game out here. It's wild, bro. It's definitely wild. I can't wait. Hey, man, what better place to premiere it than on Beast on Air episode 1? Yeah, man. So everybody tuning in, appreciate you guys for pulling up. This show will air every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And it won't always be roundtable style, but I'll probably have at least 1 to 2 guests at a time. This is just a different type of style I want to do, rather than just one-on-ones all the time. You know what I mean? Just wanted to switch it up. But once again, I appreciate all the guests, everybody for stopping by. We're going to go ahead and get into this orange beanie. Then we're going to go ahead and close out the broadcast. And so let's get it. Let's go ahead and get into this orange beanie that's actually minting right now for 0.0042. So let's go ahead and get into it. by Bad Fox 4042.
I tell him. Watch how I maneuver in this orange beanie. I take the tiny and make it big, you just be thinking teeny. I'm on the beach in orange beanie, women in bikinis. They order drinks, the margaritas or the gin martini. Sipping Bellinis in the water, we across the borders. We touching longer paper now, remember flipping quarters. But now on the earth it be our turf, worldwide headquarters. Frequent airporters, love from their daughters, yeah. I think it's the way it was supposed to be. We've been in the market eating healthy off the groceries, grabbing lunch overseas. It used to be locally, now we move globally. They rock with us totally. Hopefully we can live this life for many moons and give them dripping vibe. Be human monsoons. I'm moving with the tribe on the quest to give them tunes. The beast is in the house and the foxes are in the room. Watch how I maneuver in this orange beanie. I take the tiny and make it big, you just be thinking teeny. I'm on the beach in orange beanie, women in bikinis. They order drinks, the margaritas or the gin martini. Sipping Bellinis in the water, we across the borders. We touching longer paper now, remember flipping quarters. But now on the earth it be our turf, worldwide headquarters. Frequent airporters, love from their daughters, yeah. You beat the vibe, you see the vision. That orange beanie lifestyle, not on television. I go out, make a move, I do not need no permission. I bring it into fruition by using that intuition. I treat life like an exhibition, I'm displaying the art. And if it's like a movie, I direct it, playing my part. I much rather bring it together than tear it apart. Max gains, bullet signal, shooting right up the chops, yeah. Watch how I maneuver in this orange beanie. I take the tiny and make it big, you just be thinking teeny. I'm on the beach in orange beanie, women in bikinis. They order drinks, the margaritas or the gin martini. Sipping Bellinis in the water, we across the borders. We touching longer paper now, remember flipping quarters. But now on the earth it be our turf, worldwide headquarters. Frequent airporters, love from their daughters, yeah. Watch how I maneuver in this orange beanie. Watch how I maneuver in this orange beanie.
All right. And that was Orange Beanie by Bad Fox 4042. And that joint's still minting right now for 0.0042. Y'all make sure y'all check that out on manifold.xyz. And with that being said, that's it for this episode 1 of Beast on Air. Once again, thanks to all the guests. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. But this is your boy Awesomeisjayell, aka the biggest music artist in the metaverse. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. And we are signing off.